Hello everyone, welcome. Today we will read the story of Hansel and Gretel. This is a very famous story. You can see the picture. This is Hansel, this is Gretel, and they are their mom and dad. Now we will read the story line by line. So, once upon a time, in a tiny cottage near the forest, lived a very poor woodcutter. He had two children, Hansel and Gretel. His first wife had died due to an illness. Now, the poor woodcutter got married again, but I will turn the page. Let me set it. No. But his second wife often ill-treated the children. We don't have enough food in the house, they were telling. There are too many mouths to feed. She nagged the woodcutter. So the second wife nagged the woodcutter that we don't have enough food. The cruel woman wanted to get rid of two children. Now see the pictures because pictorial presentation is better. So this is a wife nagging to her husband about the poverty in their house. Now come to the next page. Again see the picture. This is Hansel boy. Now we will again come to the text. Now take them far away from home, she is telling, so that cannot find their way back, she ordered him. The poor woodcutter didn't know what to do. Hansel had overheard his parents talking. Don't worry, if they leave us in the forest, I will make sure that. Now again, next page. I will make sure that we find our way back to home. So now Hansel is telling this to his sister. He said, he filled his pocket with little white pebbles and went back to bed. Finally, at dawn, early morning, the woodcutter led Hansel and Gretel into forest. While they walked, Hansel was, again I will show you pictures. Now here in the picture you can see their parents, they are taking these children to the forest. Hansel, Gretel, they are going. Now come to the next page. The pictures, it is night and Gretel is crying, Hansel is there. Now Hansel was dropping the little white pebbles on the way because he overheard the conversation of their parents. After walking for a long time, the woodcutter mumbled an excuse and left them alone. When night fell, the woodcutter did not return. Gretel began to sob and cry. Gretel, Hansel's little sister, started sobbing and she was crying. Hansel tried to comfort her. Don't cry. He was very smart boy, so he was consoling his sister. Now again to the text from here. Gretel, I will take you home soon. Since it was full moon night, the children could see what lay in the front of them. The white pebbles shone in the moonlight, and the children found their way back to home. They now see, they again came back to home and they were now sleeping. You see the pictures, they are sleeping. Now this page. So now you can see their stepmother is very angry with them that they are back again in their home. Now we'll start again. So they quickly slipped into bed. Next day, when their stepmother discovered that Hansel and Gretel had returned, she flew into a rage. She was very angry. She kept Hansel and Gretel inside their room all day and gave them only a sip of water and some hard bread. Hansel. Now next page. Hansel, however, did not eat his bread. Once again, the poor woodcutter took the children into the forest. As he walked through the trees, Hansel left a trail of bread crumbs behind him to mark the way. But the hungry birds that lived in the forest swooped down and in the no time at all had eaten all the crumbs. So there was not any crumb left there to show the way for them. You can see the pictures again, they are being taken to the jungle. Come to the next page. Now the woodcutter again left his two children by themselves. I have left a trail this time too, Hansel said to Gretel. But they found to their horror that all the crumbs were missing. Gretel wept very bitterly and cried, I am cold, I and hungry, and I want to go. You see the pictures? Now you can see the body is there, Hansel and Gretel is there, and Gretel is very unhappy. Now we will turn the page. Next page, page number 10. You again see the picture, because picture speaks a lot. See, you can see some witch is hiding here. So what was there? I want to go home. So Gretel is telling that I want to go home. I want to go home. All night, two children huddled together at the foot of a large tree. At daybreak, they started to wander about in the forest until they came across a strange cottage. There was a strange cottage in the jungle in the middle of a clearing. They approached the cottage cautiously. When Hansel touched the cottage, a piece broke away in his hand. This is chocolate, gasped Hansel. And this is icing, cried Gretel. The hungry children began to eat pieces of chocolate broken from the cottage. Suddenly the door of the cottage. Now again come to the pictures. Hansel and Gretel is there before the cottage, and they are eating the chocolates and icing. Now next page. Next page. So here So the door of the cottage opened. An old woman peered out. Come in, don't be afraid, said the old woman. The old woman was actually a witch who trapped people with her cunning words. The children stepped inside the cottage and the witch immediately locked the door. You are. I will show the picture first. See, the witch is here and the two children, horrified children, are there. Now, you are nothing but skin and bones, she is telling them, said the witch, locking the Hansel in a cage. I shall I shall fatten you. I shall fatten you up before I eat you. You can do the housework, she told Gretel. So Gretel started cooking for the and Hansel, witch and Hansel. One day, the witch suddenly said to Gretel. So again, come to the pictures. This dangerous witch, and she has trapped Hansel into the cage, and there is Gretel. She is peering. Now, come to this page. Here. So, I have to see. Said the Gretel, listen, the oven. We are going to cook the boy today. A little later, she said, run and see if the oven is hot enough. Gretel replied, I can't tell if it is hot enough or not. As the witch angrily bent down to look inside the oven. So here again you see the picture of angry witch, and there is Gretel who is cooking for her. So as the witch angrily bent down to look inside the oven, Gretel gave her a terrific push and shut the oven. See, you can see here picture. Now this Gretel is throwing witch into the oven, large oven. She is being thrown there. So Gretel threw her into the oven. Gretel gave her a terrific push and shut the oven. The witch died inside the oven. Gretel set her brother free. They immediately filled a large basket with food and set off to search for their way to home. They walked for 2 days, and on the third day they saw their cottage at the edge of the forest. Their father was sitting outside the house and was very happy to see them. He told them that he could not tolerate the nagging by their stepmother and had driven her away. And they all lived happily together. Hansel, Gretel, and their father. Now you can see the happy picture of father hugging two children. So this was the happy end, and this was the story of Hansel and Gretel. Hope you like this video. Thank you so much.